Hello students, chapter 4, Animal Kingdom, video number 3. In this video, we will be studying about phylum Hemichordata and phylum Chordata. Now to start with, the very first, phylum Hemichordata. Phylum Hemichordata. This phylum was earlier considered as a subphylum of Chordata. Now it is a separate phylum, Hemichordata. There are small groups of worm-like animals, marine animals included in this phylum. It has an organ system level of organization, bilaterally symmetrical body, triploblastic, coelomate, cylindrical body, and the body is divided into three parts: proboscis, collar, and trunk. Circulatory system is of open type. Respiration takes place through gills. An excretory organ is proboscis gland. Sexes are separate, fertilization is external, and development is indirect, that means through a larval stage. You can see over here, this is the example, Balanoglossus and Saccoglossus. In this Balanoglossus, you can see the body is divided into proboscis, collar, and the whole trunk. This is the genital wings. This is the hepatic ceca, the hepatic region. Now the next phylum, the last phylum, that is the phylum Chordata. The main characteristics of phylum Chordata is that the animal bears notochord either throughout their life or during the embryonic stage. The notochord is stiff and flexible, just lying ventrally to the nerve cord. The body is triploblastic, coelomate, bilaterally symmetrical. The body consists of post-anal tail. The circulatory system is a closed circulatory system. There is a dorsal hollow nerve cord and paired pharyngeal gill slits. Now, if you see, this is a structure of a chordate where you can see the notochord. Just above the notochord, there is a dorsal nerve cord. There are gill slits. There are pharyngeal gill slits. There is a post-anal tail. Now, this phylum Chordata can be divided into two subgroups, subgroup Protochordata and subgroup Urochordata. Further, subgroup Protochordata is divided into two subphylums, subphylum 1 Urochordata and subphylum 2 Cephalochordata. And subgroup Urochordata is further divided into subphylum Vertebrata. Now let us take these subphylums one by one. The very first subphylum Urochordata. In this, the notochord is present only in the larval stage. The three examples are Ascidia, Scalpa, and Doliolum. Then this is the second subphylum, the subphylum Cephalochordata. The notochord extends from head to the tail and the notochord persists throughout their life. Example, Branchiostoma. The third phylum Vertebrata. The Vertebrata processes notochord during the embryonic stage, and this notochord is replaced by cartilaginous or bony vertebral column in the adults. And all vertebrates are chordates, but all chordates are not vertebrates. You have seen just now, there are two types of chordate, Urochordata and Cephalochordata. They are not vertebrates. Now, further, this subphylum Vertebrata can be divided into two divisions, Agnatha and Gnathostomata. Agnatha, organism that lack jaws, and Gnathostomata, the organism which bears jaws. Agnatha, division Agnatha consists one class, that is Cyclostomata, and division Gnathostomata has two superclasses, Pisces and Tetrapoda. Pisces, that which bears fins, it has two classes, chondriocyte and osteocytes. And Tetrapoda has four classes: amphibia, reptilia, apes, and mammals. Now let us do the classes one by one. Cyclostomata, which bears all living members, are ectoparasites on some fishes. Body is elongated. The body consists of 6 to 15 pairs of gill slits for respiration. They have sucking and circular type mouth, but without jaws. Body is divided of scales and paired fins. Cranium and vertebral column is cartilaginous. They are marine, but they migrate to fresh water for swapping, and then they die within a few days. Then the larvae later, after metamorphosis, again returns back to the ocean. So this is an example of cyclostomata, that is class cyclostomata, that is Petriomox. You can see over here the external gill slits, as well as you can see the sucker over here because it's an ectoparasite. There is a small dorsal fin, but rest fins are absent. Now, the next two classes which belongs to Pisces, that is chondriocyte and osteocyte. If you remember over here, the superclass Pisces has two classes, chondriocyte and osteocyte. So we'll discuss that now. Now, chondriocytes, the name itself is saying they have cartilaginous fishes. The exoskeleton is cartilaginous. And class osteocytes has bony endoskeleton. So let me talk about chondriocytes first. They are marine fishes. The endoskeleton is cartilaginous. 5 pairs of gill slits without gill cover. Now, because their endoskeleton is made up of cartilage, they do not have any air bladder or any swim bladder because their body is already light. Mouth is ventrally present. Viviparous, and fertilization is internal. Some examples are ray fish, electric fish, stingray. Osteocytes are found in freshwater or marine. The endoskeleton is bony and it contains 7 pairs of gill slits with gill cover, that is operculum. So you can see they are without gill cover, chondriocytes. But osteocytes are with gill cover, that is operculum. They have, because their body is made up of bony endoskeleton, the body becomes heavy. So they have swim bladders, which helps them for buoyancy. Mouth present is terminal. Oviparous, fertilization, external. What do you mean by viviparous and oviparous? Viviparous, which gives rise to young ones directly, and oviparous, they lay fertilized eggs. An example can be rahu, katla, all different fishes, bony fishes. You can see over here, this is Scoliodon, a chondriocyte, and this is rohu, osteocyte. The mouth you can see, it is ventral, and this is terminal. Now the next classes that belong to the superclass Tetrapoda. We'll be doing classes amphibia, reptilia, apes, and mammals. Now, class amphibia. All animals belonging to class amphibians have 2 phases of life cycle. One is the adult phase and another is the larval phase. Larva is aquatic and adult is terrestrial. These organisms, because they are named amphibians, because they require both aquatic and terrestrial life cycle. They require water for breeding and fertilization is external. They have two pairs of limbs. Body is divided into head and trunk. No neck is present. Skin is moist without scale because they undergo cutaneous respiration, that is respiration through skin. The external ear, that is tympanum, is replaced, is present in of ear. Alimentary canal, urinary and reproductive tract open into a common chamber called cloaca, which opens to the outside. Heart is three-chambered, two auricles and one ventricle. It is cold-blooded organisms. And respiration in tadpoles takes place through gills. In adult, it is through lungs and skins. Under it comes toad, frog, salamanders. You can see so many amphibians. Now the class reptilian. They are crawling animals. Body is covered by dry, pond-fight skin that contain epidermal scales. Post and anal tail is present. No external ear opening. Two pairs of limbs with 5 digits in each. They are cold-blooded animals. They are three-chambered. Heart. Example is snake, lizard. Fertilization is internal. Crocodile, tortoise, turtle. Now we come to class apes. Body is streamlined. Body has head, trunk and a pair of legs. Body is covered with feathers. Bones are hollow. They are warm-blooded animal. Four-chambered heart. No teeth in the beak. Examples are all birds. Now we come to class Mammalia. They have milk-producing mammary glands. Skin is with hair, external ear present, teeth is present, four-chambered heart. And you can see so many mammals, you can name them yourself. So this finishes with the chapter. And this chapter has been concluded in 3 videos.